Today, let's take a look at some scary cryptids that might be real. From the Mothman to the Jersey Devil. Let's talk about this and more only in today's video. Starting off this countdown, we have the Mothman. The legend of the Mothman is a very, very creepy one. The Mothman originates from West Virginia folklore. Apparently, it's a large 10-foot tall gray creature with red glowing eyes and wings. It has the ability to fly over 100 miles per hour, and this creature has been spotted on a number of different occasions. In particular, it's believed that once you see him, bad things are going to happen, so he's kind of like a bad omen. The first report of this creature was on November 15th of 1966. On this night, two sets of young couples drove out to Lover's Lane to, it was Roger and Linda Scarberry and Steve and Mary Mallet. That's when one of the couples noticed this massive creature coming towards them. It had red glowing eyes and it was just watching them from afar. Roger and Linda freaked out and sped on out of there, but the Mothman followed them and it was like a car chase with the car and the Mothman, you know? Thankfully, they made it out all right. But they were very scared and they reported it to the police. During the next couple of days, a number of different people reported similar encounters to the police. For example, two volunteer firemen claimed that they saw a large bird with red eyes. Then a contractor named Newell Partridge was out in a field at night when he saw this creature in the distance. He shined his lights on the creature and he said they glowed like bicycle reflectors. He then went on to blame the creature for the disappearance of his German Shepherd. So people all around this town were freaked out about this creature. The scariest sighting would have to be in 1967, around the time the Silver Bridge collapsed. Apparently people who saw the Mothman then went on to receive premonitions about this bridge collapsing, and they experienced terrible nightmares. And on the day in which the bridge actually did collapse, a number of witnesses said that they saw this Mothman perched nearby just watching. So if you see this Mothman in your dreams or in real life, be careful because it means something bad is about to happen. Next up, we have the Mongolian death worm. The Mongolian death worm is a famous cryptid in China. It's said to lurk in the Gobi Desert, and it's described as being this giant red type worm creature. In fact, in Japanese, its name literally translates into large intestine worm or intestine, okay? People in Canada say intestine. Don't come for me anymore. To make matters worse, apparently it can spit poison at its victims from a far distance. It's believed that its acid-like venom is so strong that it can kill a camel or a horse. Over the years, there have been a number of terrifying encounters with this massive worm. For example, there was a story in which a young boy got followed home by this worm, and then the next day, his body was found. He was dead. It's believed that he ended up touching the worm, and so he died as a result. Their family knew that the worm was behind their son's death, so they went out on a trail looking for it to get revenge. But the family never returned home. Now, that's more of just a legend. But apparently there is a real life encounter with this worm. Back in the 19th century, someone was out in the desert when they saw this creature slithering around. He watched this creature for quite some time and actually saw it strike and kill another creature. And then a more recent sighting took place in 2013. People were out looking for it, and apparently they even caught this creature on camera. If I can find the footage, I'll insert it right now. Oh wait, I just lied. It said, who knows what happened to the footage of this creature. So apparently the tape got destroyed. Oh, how great. Moving on, we have the Jersey Devil. Now, this is a very famous cryptid that is said to live in the Pine Barrens region of New Jersey. Jersey Devil, New Jersey, I gotta know. Legend goes that in 1735, a mother gave birth to a child that she did not want. Her and her husband could not afford to raise this child. She already had 12 children, so I was gonna make a joke, but pull-out game is not strong. Let's just say that. Apparently, after she found out that she was pregnant again, she cursed the child and said that it was a devil child. And then in one version of the story, it said that she actually offered her unborn son to the devil. She ended up giving birth to the child. All was well, all was normal. But as days went by, the kid started to transition into this weird creature. It grew hooves. It had a goat's head and bat wings and a forked tail. It would growl and scream. In another version, the mother was apparently a witch and the child's father was the devil himself. And so she gave birth to the devil's son. Either way, this creature is creepy as hell. There have been reports of this creature as early as the 1820s. In 1909, that's when this creature terrorized New Jersey. Tons of people were apparently seeing this creature. In fact, because of all the sightings, people were told to stay home, stay indoors. Work was canceled, schools were closed. That's how serious it got. People were not playing. Just saying, if they thought that the creature was fake, none of this would have happened. So if you live in New Jersey, I don't know, just watch out. Watch out. Next up, we have Spring-Heeled Jack. The legend of Spring-Heeled Jack is a very creepy one. So back in Victorian England, people were worried about this weird man-type creature named Spring-Heeled Jack. According to a number of stories, Jack would visit homes in the middle of the night, ring the doorbell, and when someone would answer it, he would attack them. Now, he was given the name Spring-Heeled Jack because witnesses said he had the ability to jump great distances and heights, something no normal human could do. Jack first made his appearance in 1837. Victims say he looked like a man dressed in red shoes and armor. Others claim he would wear loose-fitting black clothes with a helmet, or that he had wings and horns and sharp fangs. But the first sighting of Jack was in October of 1837. A woman named Mary Stevens was walking in her town when this creature jumped from a tall building down to the ground in front of her. He then attacked her and tried to kiss her without her consent. You're canceled, Jack. Someone heard her screams and thankfully came to her rescue. Then they both saw him leap away. Soon, more and more people were going to the police saying that they encountered Spring-Heeled Jack. Jane described him as, and I quote, "He was wearing a kind of helmet and a tight-fitting white costume like an oilskin, and he vomited blue and white flames." Okay, Jack. Okay. Coming in at number 4, we have the Green Beach Monster. This is apparently a very strong and scaly, slimy beast that hunts for prey in Ohio rivers. So if you're from Ohio, don't go swimming in rivers. You've been warned. You're welcome. The first encounter happened to a woman named Miss Johnson and her friend. It was August 21st of 1955, and the two decided to go swimming in the river. So they both were in inner tubes when all of a sudden she was dragged underwater. She struggled to free herself, and thankfully she managed to. When she resurfaced though, she was dragged underneath the water again. Meanwhile, her friend was just watching like, oh shit, that's not good. But then again, she started kicked the creature, and she resurfaced, and she was good. She survived. According to Miss Johnson, the hand that grabbed her was large and hairy and had sharp nails or claws. She also knew that this beast was large in size and strong just based on the way that it had grabbed her and held her down underwater. In fact, Miss Johnson was left with multiple bruises and wounds on her leg from this creature. Without this, people probably would have thought that she was lying, but she literally had physical proof that she was attacked. This is where it gets a little, so one of the bruises was like a claw, like it looked like a claw on her leg. So the two went to the police with the sightings, and that's when they were visited by an Air Force colonel. He interviewed them and took detailed notes, but when he left, he said never speak about this encounter ever again. I mean, isn't that sketchy? Isn't that sketchy? Like, they literally warned them, like, don't you ever, like, threaten them, like, don't you ever talk about this ever again. So you trying to say that, like, an alien is on the loose or a cryptid from your lab is on the loose? Thanks, government. Next up, we have Pepie. Okay, this one isn't that scary, but, the Loch Ness Monster, you got Nessie, but we got Pepie, who is a lake monster. Maybe they're related, who knows? But Pepie is a massive snake-like creature with a long neck who lives in Lake Pepin. There have been various sightings throughout the 18th and 1900s. People who have seen it have said it's anywhere from between the size of a rhino to the size of an elephant, and that it's got smooth gray skin. They also said that they have seen it snatch a bird mid-air and then eat it. So, I don't know what you guys think. Maybe, do you guys believe in the Loch Ness Monster? I mean, there's so many, like, the ocean is barely explored, so there could be a snake-like creature lurking in the water, and how are we supposed to know? We barely explored it. Could easily hide from us. In our second spot today, we have the Shuck. Ah, Shuck. The Shuck is a ghostly black dog said to be located in East England. According to the legend, the Shuck haunts rural towns and villages across the country. This cryptid is described as being like a huge black hound. Some say that it has glowing green or red eyes. The story goes that during a thunderstorm in 1577, a bunch of villagers were seeking shelter in a church. While doing so, a black dog entered the church and attacked and killed a man and his son. As it fled the church, the creature apparently left scorch marks in the wood of the church door that can be still seen to this day. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments below. All right, guys, that's all for today's video. Let me know in the comments below which one of these cryptids you found the creepiest. And if I do part 2, which cryptids should make the list? Maybe El Chupacabra? Let me know in the comments below. If you stayed to the end, comment this emoji. Woo! Also, while you're commenting, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Obviously, smash that like button. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan. Stick around for some bloopers, and I'll see ya when I see ya. Bye. Her and her husband could not afford to raise... As it fled the church, the creature apparently left scorch marks in the wood of the church. Wow, I can't speak. And in our #1 spot today, we have the Jersey... I already talked about the Jersey Devil. Well, I fucked up.